Okay. Explaining the entity's iceberg. A psychopoly video. Yeah, this guy's pretty goated. I actually really like him.
Hello, deranged viewer. Welcome back to another
Oh.
obscure corner of the internet where we're going to be talking about complete nonsense.
Oh, I got interested in this one. I forgot explaining the entity's iceberg. I got interested in it because of this right here. I think if you say their name, it attracts them. And I worked a shift last week where apparently there were skinwalkers there. Oh shit. I just said their name. Apparently they're there and they'll like mess with people there, and like it's like a pretty known thing to like see those things out there. So that's why I was like, oh, let me watch this.
Once again, today we're going to be talking about
I don't think I've only heard of this thing. Let's see I've only heard of this in what is it called? In Phasmophobia. Everybody's heard of these. I don't know what this is. I've heard of this. These are the guys that are like on the side of the road, I think, in like farms or something. Are these the guys that you see when you like hallucinate on drugs, I think? I know this. I don't know this. This kind of scares me. Things that hide like kind of scare me. Like if there's an entity behind like some kind of like wall or something, or even like a tree, then I'd be kind of scared. Like, bro, like why is it hiding?
entities.
The Hat Man. I don't think I've heard of the Hat Man.
More specifically, humanoid-like entities that are not as much like cryptid or ghosts, but rather more tangible.
Oh, also, we invested into the YouTube Platinum, so no more ads.
Entities that some believe actually exist. And so this is the
What, do y'all think that like these things exist? I would say that like I think maybe ghosts might exist. Maybe ghosts. Although I'm not like a super hard believer in ghosts, just because of like it's like I've never personally had an experience, but I've had like just like creepy bad vibes, like like vibes. The vibes are off. But I don't know if anything on this would be real. I doubt it. Maybe these ones. Maybe this one. Maybe.
entity's iceberg. You start off with, the more well-known ones, such as the skin.
Oh, y'all know which ones I actually believe in? It's the ones where it's like I think it's in Indonesia.
Walker further up.
Oh. What is it called? Jumping sack. Or is it in the Philippines? Philippines ghost. It's like they bury. Ooh. It's like they bury the I don't know what that is. Here it is. It's like they bury their dead in like a sack so they don't the pokong, I think that's what it's called. And it like they'll jump towards you. I think y'all have seen like videos of it or something. Like they'll start jumping towards like you, and like it's just kind of scary. Like why is it? I don't know. It's just like it just jumps, and like all the videos I've seen of it are like kind of scary. They look real, like really real too, but I mean they could have just put somebody in like a bed sheet and been like.
And then
It's
further
real.
down, it becomes more obscure, such as the hide behind. But let's go ahead
haven't
and
heard of
start
the
off
hide
at the
behind.
top
Oh
with the
my.
rake. The rake is a pale humanoid creature that looks extremely thin and malnourished. It almost has an
If I saw that while I'm like I don't know hiking or like camping at night, I'd actually like cry.
alien.
I get scared like very easily. Like an obsession, like I mean that was the most recent thing I've been scared by. Except Matilda. I think I played Matilda before I played Obsession. Or no, I think I played Matilda before I watched Obsession. During Obsession, I was literally like this the entire time. Like I don't know if y'all can see, but there's like cracks in my fingers.
like
movie
look
was
to its
scary.
face with
It wasn't even like scary in like a jump scare way. It was just unnerving.
its huge hollowed out eyes. But personally, I'd say it looks a lot more like a demon, like a lot of these others on this list. Now, the origins of the rake is that
Yeah.
this thing actually came from a creepypasta story originally. The story
Not most of these, because I'm sure the Wendigo and the SWs like came or were like ancient folklore. Like I don't think they were like I think the rake or wraith is new. Is
story
more
of the rake is about this unknown humanoid creature that lives in the woods and sometimes terrorizes people. But this creepypasta story actually became much more of an urban legend than other creepypastas online. In the creepypasta story, it was about 6 feet tall when it was standing up, but usually it crouched and walked around on all fours like an animal. And also like some animals, it was nocturnal, only coming out at night. The reason this thing was called the rake was because of its long arms that were really thin with sharp claws on its hands. Anyways, this is
like
the
a rake, like an actual rake. I didn't know it was based off of an actual like garden tool.
picture that's usually associated with the rake. It looks like it was supposed to be taken with a game camera,
What time
which,
is
you know,
this?
normally
1
takes
a.m.,
pictures
2
of
a.m.?
deer and other wildlife. But this picture has a timestamp that it was snapped at 1 a.m. in the month of November, which was probably really cold out, which I feel like kind of ties in with themes of like the Wendigo and food being
Yeah.
scarce in the
Yeah.
wilderness in the winter, and so creatures go to other means to
Bro, okay, side note. His freaking armor in the back and like swords in the back are so sick. That painting is sick too. The Scar Nerf gun from Fortnite, those are kind of cool.
get
Okay,
food,
back to the
which
video.
might involve humans. What's really interesting that I learned recently is I thought this picture was from a video game called The Resistance 3, and it was like a promotional image that they put out there to just get attention to the game. And a lot of people used to say this, myself included, but this is actually not a promotional image for the game. The original picture actually came from a hunting forum from seemingly a normal user, which even though this came from a normal user, I'm not saying it's not maybe photoshopped, but what's really crazy is this game camera picture actually made it onto the news, where a
Wait, what? Like, it's a creepypasta, but it's like real?
man claimed that he got this picture from a hunting property that was recently destroyed in Berwick, in maybe the state of Louisiana.
Thanks for watching.
They did a whole news segment. Well, I feel like they do news segments for anything. Like, wasn't there just a news segment over like I Show Speed or something?
NBC 33 News Morning Edition. The time.
Not saying that he's not doing some crazy stuff and like incredible things in the world, but like I feel like news segments are just like for anything kind of.
Time is 6:26. Okay, so you know how we ask you to send in your pics so we can put them in our newscast? Well, you gotta see what one viewer claims his friend found at a
Imagine you're like a grandma just like tuning into the news and they show this thing. She's probably like
hunting
Bro.
camp in Berwick. I really don't even know what that is.
Berwick? They called it a Berwick?
The guy who sent it in didn't want us to mention his name, but tells us this is totally for real. He says last week and his friend's family found one of their hunting camps destroyed.
Bro, imagine like some like old grandma just being so scared just like seeing this on the news. Like she just like turns off the news and turn it off.
But the SIM card was still there, and so was this crazy image. I put the pic up on Facebook.
If it was real, it noticed the camera. So like why is it that like I'm just like wondering if it's looking at the camera, why didn't it like destroy the camera or attack the camera? Like why is it just this picture? If it was theoretically real, I don't think it's real.
Facebook, and this is what some of you had to say about it. Steven says, keep going down, this is a computer-generated Photoshop image, and it's definitely not real. Okay, the next guy says, bring it up.
Swamp people need to. Oh wait, hold on.
Those swamp people need to eat some food with those 2-inch biceps.
Bro, what the? What the? This is definitely like early 2000s, like vibes.
Okay, and our next
Wasn't it like
person
2004?
says, hey, I've got one of that my friend snapped up here in North Louisiana with the same cam. Stance alien girl looking thing floating in the background. So here's that pic. Okay.
Oh shoot! Like the deer is like looking at it too. Wait, that's kind of cool. That's kind of creepy.
Really creepy, isn't it? And we got the music to go along with it.
So what's so interesting about this is that this other guy commented on this news anchor's Facebook post about how he got a similar picture on his game camera of something taken in northern Louisiana, which I'm assuming the original picture was supposed to take place in Louisiana. But overall, there's not a lot of solid confirmation on whether this thing was
That's interesting. Like, it's not really like, I don't know, because there's some animals that are just like incredibly, is it evasive or in evasive towards humans? Like they'll like stay away from humans as much as they can, and it's like something like this might exist, but it probably wouldn't go after humans though. It'd probably like just be by itself, and a lot smaller too. If it's something big, then like humans would have seen it by now.
completely faked or whether this thing was authentic. But I saw this YouTuber go over how this picture, they ran it through this software to test if it was photoshopped, and it says that it is photoshopped. But the only reason it's flagging it as a photoshopped image is because of the trail camera logo in the bottom left corner of the picture, which would indicate that maybe this picture is authentic, or at least, you know, a real picture of something that was used with practical effects, like maybe a guy in a suit or something like that. So, you know, maybe it is real, and if it is real,
Like that one basketball player that's playing like Alien, and then he played Captain Clark in the Backrooms too.
I hate it, and I don't want to live
I don't like it.
in the
I don't
middle
like
of
how
the woods
it's like
anymore.
looking at me.
Skinwalkers. So
I don't like
this
this.
is a
I don't like the freaking like the way it stands, like in the like all weird.
pretty broad legend. The idea of skinwalkers originally comes from Navajo folklore. Originally, the Navajo culture spoke of these creatures that went on all fours.
No,
so
I
the
don't
story
like that.
is that there were
I don't. That's the one thing I don't like.
these witch doctors that would commit these heinous acts or evil rituals, such as killing a family member or deceiving another person in order to become this shape-shifting creature. Now, once this act was completed, they would then gain the supernatural power to transform into animals. Specifically, they would often take the form as a predator, such as a coyote or a wolf, or a fox, or a bear. But not only could these witches turn into these animals, but they also had other powers, such as being able to read people's minds, or control people's thoughts
I didn't know that like they could read people's minds.
and behaviors, which is what I would associate with like possession. And also, they had the ability to
Ooh,
bring
that
forth
one-
disease,
the bird?
destroy homes, and cause death.
bird
And
looked kinda
basically,
creepy.
the big thing is, if you see a skinwalker, you can assume that it's trying to put a curse on you. So you never want to see them, you don't want them around, and I think it's
Okay.
even tapped
So the story that I have to tell y'all about these guys is that the station I was at last week, my partner was saying that him and a cop and his other partner would go out, because I'm out there just for a temporary as a replacement for somebody that had to go, and he's telling me all these like creepy stories, and he's saying that he's out driving one night in the truck, and that he sees somebody on the side of the road. I think it was somebody on the side of the road, and like, yeah, keep in mind this isn't in the city. This is like out in the middle of nowhere. And he's saying that he sees somebody out in the middle of nowhere, and he keeps driving because his partner was like, just keep driving, because like, if you see anybody in the side of the road just out in the middle of nowhere, I mean, I probably wouldn't stop either. I probably wouldn't stop. That's just like too suspicious. If it's somebody alone, you never know if they're truly alone. Like, they might be trying to carjack you, or like maybe it is something supernatural too. You never know.
to even say the term skinwalker. So Don't be running in the woods screaming Skinwalker or whatever.
Bro, there's
I
this
don't know.
one guy on Instagram that I always see, or I used to always see, that he would go hunting for skinwalkers across like the U.S. and he'd go being like late at night, he'd be screaming, "Skinwalkers!" Sorry. Skinwalkers, like just screaming for skinwalkers, and then I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, and then like sometimes like things would respond, like I don't know what it would be, but he'd be like, bro, what the hell was that? Maybe it wasn't like I keep saying their names. You're not supposed to say their names apparently. Like it attracts them, but that's Loki scary.
I don't know how it actually works. I don't think you're supposed to say.
Oh, back to I could never do that. What that guy does, like where he's like going out screaming their names. Like I like to go out in nature, but not like that deep in nature.
Wendigo, but oops. The Woman in White. So the Woman in
This is
White, or
kinda scary.
the White Lady, is this urban legend that spans across the entire world. So people say all over the world that they see this similar type of entity. Often she's just
Is this the lady that I always see on like Instagram that goes like that? I think so.
described as a female ghost thing that typically appears dressed in a white dress or similar clothing, and usually she's also only seen in rural areas. Usually alongside these legends there's some local lore about how this lady is connected with tragedy or some sort of loss, which is kind of strange because how is there so many legends about this woman and they're all kind of cohesively connected by the same type of themes?
But that's kind of just what like people do, like disasters in general are kind of connected to like the same mythical creature, like dragons. Like dragons are like they're kind of connected to like disasters and stuff. Like, but they're not like, it's just the same disaster, just kind of being like associated with something kind of similar. Like this, I'm pretty sure it's just like the same like disaster or something being associated with that lady.
Because this legend spans over 20 different countries all around the world that aren't necessarily connected. But like I said again, the main theme is loss or tragedy. Some of the legends range from this woman being like a spirit that is the remnants of a person,
Is it
or
just
her
like
being
a
like a
regular
warning
ghost?
to those who see her that someone close to them is going to die. I have actually personally known some people that have had kind of an experience with this lady. These people said that they were trying to prank their friends, and so they had someone dress up as the lady in the white dress, and then after they did this prank, they
She
said a bunch
showed
of
up.
weird stuff started happening to them, and they had a lot of like strange accidents at the place they were working, and essentially they thought they had a curse put on them. And so they said they had like a shaman come and bless the place, but I don't know how much of the story I believe. Maybe I was getting pranked at that point.
That's kind of I don't know.
But I thought I should include it. And personally, I'm not, very superstitious of a guy. I'm a little stitious, but not super. The Dark Watchers. So
These guys
the
kinda
Dark
scare me.
Watchers
Anything that's
are,
just,
in
like,
my opinion,
watching,
one of the
it's like,
strangest
watching
things
them,
on
like-
this iceberg chart. The Dark Watchers are a strange
Ugh,
phenomenon
these guys
about
scare
this
me.
group of entities seen in California along the Santa Lucia Mountains.
That's
They're
where it was,
described
California.
as these
No.
tall,
Stop.
sometimes
Stop.
giant-sized dark silhouettes
Stop.
that
Get that
are
picture off.
featureless and often wear brimmed hats like the Hat Man, which we'll
Yankee
talk
with
about in
no
a second,
brim? Wait,
or
hold up.
they
Yankee
sometimes
with no
have
brim?
walking sticks. Usually they're seen just standing motionless, watching travelers from the horizon right around the hours of
Stop.
twilight and
Stop.
dawn.
Stop.
And
Stop.
sometimes they're said to kind of camouflage themselves among the trees and kind of hover near the horizon.
I feel like I saw one of these
And-
guys one time. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I think it was like when I was like 12 or something. We went on a field trip. No, was it with? I don't know if it was a field trip or if it was just me and my family. And we're like, not too deep. Like, we probably just started the trail, but it's like this big plains, and then across, there's a bunch of like these trees like lined up, and I swear I see something like a figure, like a black figure, and it just like turns around and goes away. And I was like, what the hell was that? I don't know.
There's even some
But this is in California, so
stories where people portray them as like
Isn't there a bunch of trains in California? Maybe people are like actually seeing things that aren't really there.
small creatures that are kind of similar to gnomes or elves around the
How
area,
do we get to
but
gnomes
usually
and elves?
they're human-sized or larger. What's so crazy is people have been seeing these things for as long as we know. It's even said that the Spanish settlers that arrived here back in the 1500s encountered these things and named them the Los Vigilantes Obscuros, which is where they got their name now, the Dark Watchers. And although they have this kind
That's
of
kind of a
ominous
sick name.
it's said that
Dark
they
Watcher.
never showed aggression towards the Spanish colonizers. But the Spanish, for the record, did say it was very unsettling being watched by them. But
Well, yeah,
even
if
before
you're
the
being watched by
Europeans
something
arrived in
that
the
you don't
western
even
part of
know
the
what it
United
is,
States,
it's
the
kinda
Chumash
scary.
tribe, a Native American tribe that lived in the coastal California area, often spoke of these tall, shadowy figures that materialized during the late afternoon, only
don't
to
like this. It's
disappear
fucking
once they
scary.
had been spotted. It's also said, according to some of the lore, that if you approach them, they vanish into mist. And so that's why nobody has gotten close to them or
Maybe
been
it's
able
like a
to document
mirage
them and
or
know what they
something
actually
like
are.
that.
And
Like, you
because
know,
of their
like, when you
possible
see, like,
existence
heat or something, and it kind of like creates a double. Maybe it's a mirage of you or something like
for
that.
thousands of years in this area, they're often called the Old Ones because maybe they were
Old
the first
Ones?
people to inhabit this
Bro, what
land.
the
Now,
hell?
although scientifically people like to explain that this is some sort of optical illusion like a Brocken spectre
Oh. That's what I'm saying.
or something similar, I find these explanations extremely lame and choose to ignore them. Machine Elf. Now, Machine Elves are these beings
These guys, I feel like these kind of have some merit. I think what I'm thinking of is where they're like, I'm pretty sure these are like what you see when you're on psychedelics or something like that. These guys, I've never taken any kind of like drugs or anything like that, or like alcohol or anything like that. To the point at all, just in general at all. Also, I could see that, like, kind of stories that I've heard from people that have taken like psychedelics, any kind of drugs, and they're like, their mind, it like opens their mind or something like that. I could understand that this kind of being real, because it's not really like, it's more of like maybe less of a separate entity, more like a similar concept of what everybody sees, because it's like it's human like, it looks very human like, and like I'm pretty sure you see colors and a lot of fractals when you're high. I don't know, but like I could understand that this being real,
that
or
some
like
people
this being having some merit.
say they encounter or experience whenever they're under the influence of DMT or other such substances.
I don't know
Now,
what DMT
what's really
is.
strange about these things is although people are having their own experiences all over the world in different places, they all say they see an extremely similar thing. They explain that they're kind of like these little humanoid elf creatures that are otherworldly and mischievous and playful beings. Often when they see them, they're involved with things like mechanized wheels, gears, and machinery. Whenever they encounter them, sometimes they're referred to as fractal elves or self-transforming elves. As some people explain, they feel like they have some sort of self-transformation.
Apparently there's like this one like psychedelic that like it'll make you vomit for like, I think like days or hours, and but after you like vomit from like after like the dosage of days you use it, apparently like all like trauma or like things like that kind of just wash away over your body. I was like, that's kind of sick, but it's like apparently like extremely painful to go through
When they encounter them, a lot of times whenever people say they see these elves,
This guy has a 6-pack. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, an 8-pack.
they meet them in DMT hyperspace, and basically they think
DMT
they've gone
hyperspace.
outside of our
Yeah, we lost the plot.
dimension and are now in this realm where they can talk to these entities. And now, while some people believe these things are good and helpful to people's development, others think they're exactly the opposite. So people theorize that actually the Mayans were one of the most brutal and bloodthirsty civilizations because
I don't know where I heard this from, but y'all are gonna hear me. If y'all watch my streams, y'all are gonna hear me say that a lot. I have no idea where I get most of my information from. I always forget. But apparently the Mayans weren't as like hostile or like bloodthirsty as people say. I don't know. I don't know where I heard that. I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
because
Our next video show is probably going to be about Aztecs or Mayans.
they worshipped these machine elves and that they were actually like malevolent deities and very evil. So the reason they think this is because the Mayans actually did a whole bunch of these ceremonies and rituals, which is real. They actually did this, where they would take peyote and other psychedelics like psilocybin mushrooms and such, and they would use these substances to try to communicate with what they consider divine beings and gain like supernatural insight. And so people theorize that the Mayans were doing this and they were communicating with these elf things that were actually demons, and it basically started off happy. And you know, maybe they gave them
like the elves are actually like demons. I don't know.
some technology like a good calendar, or maybe they taught them how to build something and they're like, that's great, we'll just take a few things in return, like maybe you'll give us some of your prisoners, sacrifice some of your prisoners, and then maybe later on they're like, well,
yeah, we'll take like something small, like sacrifice 5 people.
you could probably do without the old, you can probably sacrifice them, go ahead and do it for us. And then further and further on you go, they asked for more sacrifices until the Mayans were doing 20,000 human sacrifices every year, which...
Oh my gosh! 20,000 sacrifices? I take back what I said earlier. Maybe they were kind of bloodthirsty. 20,000 sacrifices. I didn't even think there was like 20,000 Mayans, I'm gonna be honest. At one time, like, there's probably like... If they're sacrificing 20,000, they have to have at least a population, I want to say, of 60,000 in order to sustain. No, way more. If they are sacrificing 20,000 people, then they probably have a population of over like 100,000 maybe.
The Mayans were doing 20,000 human sacrifices every year, roughly. Probably more than that. That's like the minimum they were doing. How are they? I don't even know how they were doing that many.
Exactly. Like, how do you even sacrifice 20,000 people? There's like 365 days in a year. 365 days in a year. Bro, how? Like, now I'm wondering, how do they do it? So maybe like 5 people every, like 5 people in the morning, 5 people in the afternoon, 5 people before the sunset, or
like how could their civilization be so connected to where they could do so many human sacrifices? Blows my mind. Terrible. My gosh. The Wendigo. The Wendigo is a super...
This guy is actually kind of tough, not gonna lie. Like, this interpretation of him is kind of tough. Because, like, he's got the suit on, the little tie, the little pocket square, the little pocket square. He's got the antlers on. It's kind of tough.
Supernatural, cannibalistic monster that originated from Algonquin folk.
You know what I was really obsessed with as as a teenager? Freaking the Wendigo in Fallout. I forgot which one. But the Wendigo in Fallout, like, I would watch like hour documentaries about him or about it. And I was like, it's so cool. I thought, like, the Fallout lore is just so cool. I just like learning about lore.
Folklore. Basically, the Wendigo is used to symbolize what happens whenever people get on the brink of starvation, or they're not doing too well, or they're just in a scarce environment with not enough food.
Imagine being so hungry you grow antlers and you get a tough outfit and then you eat people.
food. This cannibalistic spirit was said to possess people when they either A, were too greedy, or B, consumed human flesh. And it didn't matter if these people meant to eat human flesh or not, or whether they ate human flesh just because they were starving. I feel like it was almost like a warning to people to not eat human flesh and not be too greedy, especially if you're in a group that's like a tribe and you all need to survive a winter. Don't be greedy, share with your tribe members.
Yeah, like more like a warning, like I don't know what else, like the boy who cried wolf, like an early thing of the, like a more intense of the boy who cried wolf.
So you don't all starve. So anyways, when people did this thing, they would get possessed by an evil spirit called the Wendigo, and so they would become the Wendigo. This spirit was said to...
This is what the Fallout 1 looked like. I want to say, this is what the Fallout 1 looked like. This is what I'm more familiar with. Like in images, like seeing him like a deer or like an animal. But this is what I imagine the Wendigo to actually look like, more humanoid.
Kind of transform them and make them into this creature that had an insatiable hunger. And no matter how much they ate, no matter how full their bellies got, they just never had enough. And they also had an overwhelming desire to eat human flesh. Some versions of the story, whenever people ate, they would grow larger and thinner, and they'd basically become these giant...
That sucks. That has to suck. Imagine like you're like so hungry, and that has to suck, because that's probably like one of the top 3 things about eating. Number 1, getting full. Number 2, and number 3, taste. Honestly, and then imagine like, wait, what? I forgot what I said. I forgot the train of thought. Number 1 was eating the food. Number 2 was being full, and number 3 was the taste. And you can't even get full. You can't. It's like, and you can't even enjoy it because you're just gonna be hungry when you finish, and during and when you finish. That has to suck.
Giants, which maybe ties in with all the other Native American stories about giants. There's always some weird cannibal giant story all across the U.S., like the red-headed giants from the West. But anyways, let's not get into that.
I have not heard about the red-headed giants. The only giants that I kind of know about, like lore-wise, is like, well, I don't know his name. The guy with the blue ox or something in the Bible. I think he was in the Bible. Maybe, was he in the Bible? I don't even know if he was in the Bible, honestly. I might be making things up. But that's like one of the only giant like lores that I know. The rest are from like video games.
Anyways, there's even a modern term in psychiatry today called Wendigo psychosis, which is where a person wants to eat other people. But one of the biggest like historical examples of Wendigo psychosis.
Wait, people actually want to eat other people?
Psychosis is whenever this guy named Swift Runner was living with his family in the wilderness, and basically this guy was an alcoholic. He was living during a time with brutal conditions, and it seemed like he had ran out of food with his family, and he ended up murdering his entire family and eating them. But it kind of started off slow, like where one of his sons had died from something, and then he consumed him. And so people think that because he consumed his son, who had died, that he hadn't killed himself, but he had just died and he consumed him, he became the Wendigo. Anyways, that's a really...
like, there's some merit to this. Because, like, when pigs get the taste of, like, human, like, blood or flesh, they'll stare at you like they want to eat you or something. And it's, like, supposedly it's, like, the most unnerving, like, thing. And pigs are smart, too. A lot of people don't realize how like smart pigs are. Pigs are freaking smart. They're like smarter than dogs. Than most dogs. Not all dogs. Than most dogs. On average, I think. And that once they get like a taste of like human flesh, like I think it's different for a dog. Like you can train it to not like that anymore or something like that. Or like be disgusted by it. But like a pig is different. Like it'll look at you and wait for an opportunity to bite a piece of you off.
Disturbing story. It even seems like Swift Runner had no reason to eat his family.
Maybe it's the same kind of like thing for like humans. Like you taste like a piece of like human flesh, and you're starting to like get into like, oh, I like this. I want more.
Back in that time, they all had leather tents, and
This guy looks so uncomfortable. This guy kind of like standing tall, but this guy's like, he's like, he does not look like he wants to be there.
eating the leather from
Is this the guy that ate his kid?
his tent, and he didn't. He just chose to eat his family. Man, I'm glad
horrible.
that I don't live in old times. But if you want to learn more
Yeah, imagine having to be so like you literally have like no other option. You have to eat somebody. It's horrible.
about that, look up the story of Swift Runner and Wendigo Psychosis. It's actually pretty crazy. The Hide Behind. The Hide Behind is a fearsome
I'm kinda scared of
critter,
this.
which means it originated from these tall tales or oral traditions that were told by loggers, especially around the Great Lakes region, but all around North America in like the early years of America's history. The Hide Behind was said to be this nocturnal creature that loggers would say
This guy is not scary. Okay, I take it back, bro. This guy is not scary at all, bro. He looks like a dog without a face.
would get people if they went out in the woods at night.
Bro.
As the name suggests, this being had the incredible ability to conceal itself behind things. So like anytime a person would attempt to look directly at it, the creature would quickly hide
Bro, it's a dog. That's literally a dog that's scared of you, bro.
behind an object so it wouldn't get seen directly.
Maybe
And so
it's like
because
a
of this,
bear.
it was
Okay,
said to
that's
have this
scary.
ability
Now that's
to
scary.
stalk humans without being observed and then attack them
Now that's
without
scary.
warning. Where it was then said that it would take its victims, which included lumberjacks and other people in the woods, and drag them back
Bro, okay. How are you taking a lumberjack? Like this that's how you know this story's fake. Because this dude is coming up behind you, hair like he has oh my gosh. He has hair all over him. First of all, in a forest. Second of all, the lumberjack either has an axe or a chainsaw. The chainsaw is gonna get either stuck in the hair and stuck in this thing, and the axe is just gonna cut straight through the hair. And the branches, not to mention the branches and the trees, that hair is definitely getting stuck in the
to the
branches.
creature's lair to be devoured. The creature feature. In
Oh,
these
bro,
stories,
don't-
they would
okay, that
also
freaking
explain
cat scared
that
me.
this
Now that freaking
creature
cat's
loved to eat intestines.
scared me.
However, it did have an allergy, which
I
was
couldn't even
alcohol,
enjoy them.
and that was
I couldn't even enjoy
a
that.
good
I couldn't even enjoy that little meme because that cat
repellent,
scared
and
the
maybe
hell out of me.
that's why they drink so much, and that's their excuse for alcoholism. Anyways, in other versions of the story, some people like to say that the Hide Behind is the child of the Bigfoot and a Wendigo. I don't know why.
The child of the Bigfoot and the Wendigo. Okay, let's think about this logically. Bigfoot is probably like an ape. Maybe a North American ape. Maybe. Very unlikely possibility. But if Bigfoot were to be real, he'd be probably like a North American ape. The Wendigo is a human. Honestly, okay. You know what? A human that eats flesh. Probably. Honestly, humans do pretty weird shit. So, I wouldn't be that surprised if that and that makes together, honestly. Now that I say it out loud, humans do a lot of weird shit. Especially weird humans that eat flesh, probably a lot of weird shit.
That would be the case, and I don't understand how that works, as the
Yeah,
Wendigo...
I don't know how it would work, because wouldn't the Wendigo just want to eat the ape or something? Or Bigfoot. So, and the offspring, the offspring.
is like a spirit thing, and Bigfoot is Bigfoot the Hat Man. So
Okay,
the Hat
I
Man
don't like
is
this.
this worldwide phenomenon
Chills.
where people
Chills.
all over the world report seeing this shadowy humanoid
They report seeing a human in a hat all over the world. What could that mean?
man wearing a hat that they see during sleep paralysis. Which, if you don't know, sleep paralysis is just
Sleep
whenever
paralysis is scary, and I heard that everybody in their lifetime will get sleep paralysis at one point in their lives. Apparently, everybody in their life will get sleep paralysis at one point in their life. I've never had it. I don't think I've ever had it because I can't remember. But my dad suffers from sleep paralysis, and he's told me he's like said some creepy stuff about sleep paralysis. Some of my friends also have sleep insomnia, and that's not the same as sleep paralysis, but they also said because they've had insomnia that it kind of like when they did go to sleep that paralysis took over, and that it like just contributed to their insomnia and not helping them sleep.
Where people are sleeping and they wake up and they can't move. Or maybe they kind of wake up and they're conscious and they're basically sleeping with their eyes open. And a lot of times when this happens, people kind of hallucinate. I used to sleep with my eyes open a lot, but I never saw the Hat Man. So
How do you sleep with your eyes open? How do you sleep with your eyes open? I know that's a thing people can do. Like they can sleep with their eyes open. I've never understood that. It's like I like need to have my eyes closed. Like, and I need to have lights off. Like even when I have this light on, like late at night, and I'm like falling asleep, I'm like, I need to turn that light off because I can't fall asleep. It's like harder to fall asleep.
that's good. Anyways, it's just so strange to me that so many people all over the world report seeing such a similar thing. So the Hat Man is also associated with Benadryl. And the reason for this is because some people say that they will take Benadryl to sleep and then report seeing the Hat Man. And this kind of turned into this internet challenge thing that people called the Benadryl challenge, which is a terrible thing.
That's
Do not
thing.
ever do
Bro,
it. You
people
can
just
literally
making anything a challenge. Not only that the news, sometimes the news covers like internet challenges that don't even exist, and it's like my dad will send me like these things like, don't be doing these internet challenges to get famous or anything. Like I'm like, bro, like it's literally talking about killing yourself. Like, why would I do that?
Die or get severe brain damage. But basically,
You can get
it
brain
involves
damage from Benadryl. I actually did not know that.
the deliberate, excessive use of an antihistamine medicine,
excessive makes
diphenhydramine, which can kill you and give you brain damage. But basically, this stuff makes you delirious and it makes you not know what's real or fake, and it can cause severe brain damage, like I just said. But one big thought about the Hat Man is that maybe rather than being a hallucination, it's a supernatural entity. And normally, I'm not big on believing a lot of these things. As I said, I'm just a little bit stitious. But I actually used to live in a house with a group of guys back in college, and on 2 separate occasions,
This guy, like, I just like believe anything he says. Like, if he told me that like the Hat Man was real, like, and he believes it, I probably believe him.
2 separate people said they were sleeping in the house when they woke up and saw the Hat Man. In both conditions,
Bro.
I don't think either.
Nah. This reminds me, actually, I was with Brianna, and we're sleeping together. And it's like one of the nights that she like gives a sleepover, and we're like about to fall asleep. We're both like laying down and we're about to fall asleep, and then we hear a little girl. It's not, my sister is in like a few rooms down, and she's already asleep, or what I think she's already asleep, and I hear a little girl say help and mom, but it's like a mixture of the two, like help and mom, the mixture of the two. And then it's like I just hear that it's like mama, or like something like that. And then I'm like, did you hear that? Like, I turned to Brianna, I'm like, did you hear that? And then she's like, yeah, I heard that. And that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what the hell? And then so I get up, and then I go to check on my little sister, because I'm like, what if it's like an intruder, like broken into the house without me knowing, like without the alarm going off or anything like that. Somebody like broke into the house. And then I check all the corners. I check my sister's room. I check like everywhere. I check the doors, make sure all the doors are locked. Nothing at all. And then it wasn't until later on, when I had that shift that I was talking about last week, that the guy I was working with also had like a scary story about hearing a child in the back of the ambulance, and his partner, and the it's like a baby like crying or something. They don't have anybody in the back, and then his partner says, "Don't look back, because there are no such thing as baby ghosts, because like ghosts usually have unfinished business," and he said that's a demon back there, and that like low-key gave me chills. Like, what if I like what if what we heard was like that too? Like, there's no such thing as a baby ghost. Like, if you really think about it, there's probably no such thing as a baby ghost, because ghosts have unfinished business. What business does a baby have?
Of them had taken Benadryl to sleep or anything like that, and I don't think either of them even knew about each other's story until they told each other what had happened. And it was kind of a creepy house. It was an older house that we thought maybe someone had died in the past, so maybe this house specifically was kind of haunted with the Hat Man's spirit.
I told my dad that like the station I was at was haunted, and he's like, we have like a certain affinity to that, like to things like that, like just like our family. And I like, he always says like the creepiest stuff, not creepy, but like he'll say that like on the Day of the Dead, my mom used to put up ofrendas, and it would be like with all our like family members that we had that passed away, or people that we were special to us that passed away. And then he would say that the house feels full and loud right now, and he'd go outside, and I'm like, bro, what is he talking about? I didn't know what he was talking about until I went to the station, and I'm getting up to use the restroom, and it feels like there's a bunch of people, not a bunch of people, but it feels like there's like somebody just like out of my sight. And so it's like I'm in a warehouse kind of, but there's like there's like vehicles lined up, and it feels like there's somebody just like outside of my sight. And so I get up, so it's like it's the room where I'm at. This is where the warehouse is at, and then further down over here is where the restroom's at. All right. And so I get up to use the restroom, because I have to like walk into the warehouse to get to the restroom, and it's like somebody's like there. It feels like somebody's there, and then I'm using the restroom, and it feels like just outside that like somebody's there. Like if it like the air feels off. If like I feel like if y'all have like, if y'all know like any like ghosts, like have that kind of ghost experience, like, or kind of ghostly experience, then you would know what I'm saying. Like, it's off. Like, it's just kind of off. I swear I heard my door open. But yeah, I was just like so nervous about it.
Or something like that, and yeah, Hat Man. Maybe we lived in there with the Hat Man, because there was another situation where one of my buddies thought there was someone in the kitchen that had just walked by, and we didn't know who. There was nobody there, and nobody had walked by. But I guess that happens in other places too. You would understand if you saw the house. It's kind of creepy. Anyways, based on that, you know, maybe the Hat Man dwells in specific areas and not others, and maybe he's in different houses around the world. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Maybe.
I cannot believe you just watched this entire video. There's probably something wrong with you. But if you watch to the end, you're just...
He's like a really good...
It's like me for real.
Like,
and
I like his videos.
Thank you guys for 499,000 subs. I am just about to hit 500,000. And
Yeah, go subscribe to Psychology. Like, I really love his videos.